Being a fast learner can give you an edge in this ever-competitive world. But how do we learn things faster? Is there really a way to acquire and retain information better? In the last video, we discussed how to set goals and a clear path to reaching them. To reach your goals, you need to have a new set of skills. Whether it's learning a new language, how to sing, to dance, to start a business, or to pass a certification. Improving yourself means learning new skills. Here are 5 proven ways to help you learn faster. Okay, so before we start, let me differentiate between memorization and learning. Merriam-Webster defines memorization as the commitment of something to memory, while learning is to gain knowledge or understanding of or skill in by study, instruction, or experience. One good example here is in mathematics. We have memorized that 7 times 2 is 14, 7 times 3 is 21, and so on. But if someone asks you, what is 7 times 256? You will not be able to answer readily, but instead, you would need to resort to your learned math skill. Unless you use a calculator, which defeats the purpose of our example. Anyways, in case you're curious, the answer is 1792. As our example suggests, memorization and learning go hand in hand. You have memorized simple multiplication, and you have learned how to use them to solve complicated calculations. With that said, let's start today's video. We'll discuss 5 proven ways to help you learn faster. Number 1. Take notes. That old school style of writing notes in a paper, it helps you retain more information. Since most of us write slower word for word as compared to the spoken lesson of the lecturer, it forces you to identify the thought within what was said and summarize it in your own words. So, in order for you to take usable notes, you would have to listen more attentively as you are only able to write the important part of the lecture. A study by Michael C. Friedman of Harvard University in 2014 says the following. I'm going to read a few lines where he discussed why it's better to use a pen and paper compared to a laptop in taking notes. Laptop use may reduce the cognitive resources required for production, allowing for additional resources to be dedicated to comprehension during lecture relative to pen and paper note-taking, assisting in learning and long-term retention. Although the relative ease of laptop use may encourage students to produce more notes than they would with pen and paper, there is an equal risk that learners may be susceptible to reproduce what the instructor is saying word for word, rather than write notes in their own words. Conversely, pen and paper note-taking, due to the limitations of handwriting speeds, discourages learners from writing everything the instructor says in favor of writing selective notes in their own words, which encourages deeper processing and long-term retention of content. Okay, so that's a lot to go through. Basically, he's saying that when using a laptop, you can type faster, allowing you to take more notes, but you are inclined to take notes word for word. While when using pen and paper, since handwriting speed is limited, you are forced to be selective on your notes. It encourages you to process the information first and then write as you understand it. If you want to read the whole study, I'll put a link in the description below. So yeah, in summary, write notes and don't lose your notebook. Number 2. Distributed practice. Distributed practice, also known as spaced repetition or spaced practice, is a learning strategy where studying is broken up into a number of short sessions over a longer period of time. In 1978, a study was made by Alan Baddeley entitled "The Influence of Length and Frequency of Training Session on the Rate of Learning to Type." In the study, postmen were grouped and trained to use a typewriter using varying lengths of training sessions and frequency per day. They found that those who learned how to type using shorter learning sessions spaced over more days ended up with more accurate and quicker typing. The paper proves the effectiveness of studying in short but frequent sessions. But how long should you study each session? Center for Academic Success in Louisiana State University suggests studying for 30 to 50 minutes at a time. They also suggest having a 5 to 10 minute break after each session. Take note that after each session, you have the option to start a new session afterwards, either with the same subject or a different one. In summary, study for 50 minutes, 10-minute break, repeat. Again, links to the Baddeley study and the LSU learning tips is in the description. But why do you have so many links this time? Yes, because earlier I said proven. Links are the proof that I'm not just blabbering nonsense. Not that I'm just blabbering nonsense in previous videos. Anyway, shall we move forward? Yes, we shall. Number 3. Teach someone. Learning by teaching is one of the most effective ways to better understand concepts and retain knowledge. Explaining a topic to someone else is a helpful way to solidify ideas into your mind. A study was done in Washington University in St. Louis entitled "Expecting to Teach Enhances Learning and Organization of Knowledge in Free Recall of Text Passages" by John F. Nistoyko. They asked students to study passages either in preparation for a later test or in preparation for teaching the passage to another student who would then be tested. Participants expecting to teach produced more complete and better organized free recall of the passage, and in general, correctly answered more questions about the passage than did participants expecting a test. At this point, you'd be able to guess where the link of the study is. At the description? At the description. Even just thinking that you need to teach someone the topic while you are studying can help you retain more information. It encourages you to organize the information in a way that can be easily taught to someone else. Also, research shows that reading the information aloud to yourself improves memory of information. When you read the lesson out loud, you both see and hear it. This action makes the information more memorable to you. So, study as if you're going to teach someone and read aloud important points to better remember them. Number 4. Sleep break. Study, sleep, study again. Research indicates a strong connection between sleep and learning. Sleep does more than allow your mind to rest, but it also helps you consolidate long-term memories. Rapid eye movement sleep, or better known as REM, and slow wave sleep play different roles in memory consolidation. REM is associated with the consolidation of procedural memories. Slow wave or non-REM sleep is associated with the consolidation of declarative memories. Okay, so that's a lot to unpack given the scientific jargon. Sleeping has two basic types: REM and non-REM. REM sleep is when your brain becomes active. It is named as such because your eye moves rapidly during this time. This is also the time when you have dreams. Non-REM sleep is when your brain rests and tries to restore its supply of energy. This starts when you're half asleep. It comes in 3 stages, but in general, this is when your body starts to relax, your brain starts to rest, your breathing and heart rate slows down. There are 2 kinds of memories when you divide them by information type. One is declarative, and the other is procedural. Declarative memory are those memories that can be consciously recalled, like facts, dates, events. While procedural memory is the unconscious memory of skills, remembering how to do things like riding a bike, swimming, and playing an instrument. If you want to remember dates for that history exam, take a quick nap after studying. Still on the topic of sleep, always try to get a good night's rest. Poor sleep is thought to have a severe impact on your ability to learn and remember information, because the brain is being deprived of time that it needs to consolidate information, which is essential to the learning process. Number 5. Mnemonic. Yes, silent M. Mnemonic is defined as a system such as a pattern of letters, ideas, or associations which assists in remembering something. It helps you simplify information to make it easier to recall. One well-known example of this is when memorizing the color sequence of a rainbow. Roy G. Biv. Red, orange, yellow, green, blue, indigo, violet. Making sense of a set of letters allows you to remember them better. Another example is the verse 30 days had September, April, June, and November. It allows you to remember the number of days in specific months by making the idea into an easily memorized verse. One type of mnemonic is called connection mnemonic. As the name suggests, it uses a way to connect what you recently learned with something you already know. The more you can interconnect ideas, the better you will retain information. One simple example of this is connecting dates. If a friend has the same birthday as your mom, you'd easily remember that friend's birthday. A personal advice here: if you're having a hard time understanding complicated ideas, try to divide them into smaller bits, into simpler, basic concepts. Understand the bits, you'll better comprehend the whole. I hope you picked up a thing or two in the video. What skill are you going to try to learn now? Let's discuss in the comments.